I'm going to prep you here. Major what if here. Major what if is coming in hot. Not a prediction. Can I put that in bold letters in neon? Not a prediction. Great. JT Sports says, what if Deion wins the Big 12 in 2024? Now, if you bet on that in Vegas, go ahead and buy yourself whatever you want because the odds are plus 4,200 per FanDuel. If this happens, make no mistake now. All the talk in the offseason, all the people like me in particular as well, that have sat here and questioned what Deion can do at Colorado this year, Deion gets the last laugh. He would. And we'll come back to the videos where we have questioned their process and questioned the portal and questioned the recruiting strategy and all that, and we'll say we were wrong. So that's one part of this. What it would mean, though, for Colorado, it means that their portal strategy, what I just said a second ago, that would have worked because the line of scrimmage has been the eyesore for Colorado this past season. Now you're trying to put it together with sticks and glue because you were a one-win football team before Deion got there. But even so, like, the facts are the facts. You have to get better on the line of scrimmage, especially if you want to win the Big 12. It would also probably mean, if you win the Big 12, that recruiting, that's through the roof. And I have my own reservations about how I would like to see Deion Sanders go about it. I promise you, he does not care 1 ounce what I think, and that's one of the reasons why he is as successful as he is as a human being in his different careers. Not because he doesn't listen to me, because he doesn't listen to other people, so we'll just make that differentiation there. But it means recruiting's probably on fire because remember the gasoline that was being poured on Colorado recruiting when they were 3-0? Heck, when they were 2-0. Like, people are wanting to take visits. People want to get out to see games. People are wanting to be around Colorado. Colorado is all anybody can talk about. And so if that happens, like there's one recruit out there right now, quarterback currently committed to USC, that I know Colorado fans are keeping a very watchful eye on in Julian Lewis. I think he's sticking with USC as of right now. But if Colorado wins the Big 12, it doesn't hurt your chances at landing guys like Julian Lewis or other individuals that are of his caliber. It would cause the rest of college football, I think, also to reimagine how they view the portal. Because we've sat here and said, yes, you got to use the portal, but is it the entree instead of the appetizer? Probably not. You probably still have to use it in a surgical sense, and it can't be, the end-all, be-all for you, like Deion Sanders is trying to do right now with them flipping the roster. Now, Deion is doing it out of necessity, but if they do it out of necessity and then they go win the Big 12 in a conference that has a lot of other really strong rosters in there, like Kansas State, like Utah, like Oklahoma State, people are going to reinvent the way that, one, they look at the portal. Two, you'll see athletic directors reinvent the way that they hire guys. Because Deion Sanders came to Colorado with no power conference coaching experience, which is not a wildly, uncommon thing to hire a coach to the first time as a power conference head coach, with no experience. We've seen that happen at multiple different locations, but Deion Sanders went from the high school ranks to the FCS ranks to the Power 4 ranks. I'm just saying, I think you would have a little bit more proof of concept there to the Ted Lasso sort of approach, the Will Ferrell sort of approach, kicking and screaming, hire a charismatic individual that attracts talent and hire a great staff underneath him and let him cook. Now, this is also something that's kind of interesting. It means that Colorado's in the college football playoff, whose odds are plus 2,200 to make the playoff. A lot of people are putting money down for them to win the national championship. Is your money? Tons of eyeballs on college football, even more so than we had last year. Like the tidal wave of interest around college football, if Deion Sanders and Colorado is in the college football playoff, the limit does not exist. Mean Girls. Limit does not exist. So how would this happen? Colorado last year, it's pretty obvious. We've talked about it already. They really struggled on the line of scrimmage. And so if they're going to win the Big 12, I think they have to find some kind of way to maximize their strengths. So how do you maximize your strengths? You try and cover up your weaknesses. That's pretty obvious. But to put a finer point on this, Colorado last year, and I expect again this year, was a really good throwing the football team. I mean, they averaged right around 295 yards passing. It's top 15 in America. That's great. You got a quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, who I believe has all the makings to be a first-round pick. That's great. The problem was you weren't able to maximize that. Why? Because defensively, You were giving up 34 points a game, I believe, and you allowed you were only able to rush as well offensively for 2.3 yards a carry, one of the worst in the country. So the trouble with that is it's like when you're playing basketball. If I know that you are no threat to me going left, what am I going to do? Take away your right. Okay, well, if I take away the right hand, you can't go left, then we're kind of at an issue, right? You might go right a few times on me and get some buckets. You might put up good numbers going right, but for the most part, you're not winning that matchup because you're one-dimensional. And defensively, we mentioned this too, like allowing 35 points a game, that's not good. I believe they allowed north of 5 yards a carry defensively. That's not good. So they got some ground to make up there. But if they can just be mediocre in those categories, and they can still push the football downfield, Colorado's not going to be fun to play. For the record, I think if they win the Big 12, it means they got into a lot of shootouts, and the defense was able to get enough stops to help them win that football game and win enough football games. So the bad news for Colorado is their October to end of November schedule is absolutely brutal in the Big 12. The good news is a lot of those big games, a lot of those tough tests are at Colorado. So you got Kansas State at Colorado. You're at Arizona on the road, but you got Cincy at Colorado. You're at Texas Tech, which is sneaky. You got Utah, which is massive to get them at home. You're at Kansas, and you got Oklahoma State at home. So Utah and Oklahoma State at home, you don't want to go to Stillwater. You don't want to go to Salt Lake City. That's advantage Colorado. It's going to be tough tests. We'll see where they are in that point in the season, but those are going to be tough tests. So we'll see what happens there as they get further and further into it. But that's kind of the silver lining there if you're Colorado. Let's go back to this what if, though. If they win the Big 12, I think we need to go back and revisit what we say about Deion Sanders as a head coach. Because right now, I think the thought is Deion Sanders, a lot of star power, name has a lot of juice to it. He's going to attract a lot of guys to come and play for him on that alone. But if he goes out and wins the Big 12 after retooling the staff on both sides of the football, retooling the roster for another year forward, we talk about him being a great football coach, great football mind, great football builder. And I'm not saying he's not right now, but I'm just saying we are still, I think, becoming acquainted with Deion Sanders as a head coach in college football. But if they win the Big 12, every excuse that you had about him, every excuse I had about him, everything that I didn't believe that Deion Sanders was, again, we're a hand up, we're on the show, we're saying, hey, that's on us. That's on us. We were wrong. Deion Sanders put it all together and made it all work in a very short period of time that was previously a one-win operation. So, again, this is a massive what if. Here's the most interesting question, though, to me, just to kind of follow through on this exercise here. If Deion Sanders and Colorado win the Big 12, what's Deion's next move? Because at that point, Colorado is cooking with gas. I mentioned, the recruiting efforts are already rolling. They're already rolling. You're already acquiring more top talent. You don't have to lean on the portal quite as much as you did these last 2 years. You're primed, pun intended, to do some really good things. On the other hand, this is just my own opinion. I'm not telling you that I have inside information. It's not a prediction. I'm wondering out loud, as we do on this show often, does Deion Sanders feel like he's checked the box at Colorado? Does he feel like, okay, wipe my hands, job well done, good work. Both his sons going to the league, Travis Hunter going to the league, left Colorado in a much better place than when he found it. I wonder if maybe it's now I'll take a bigger job that I'm sure would be available for him. Do I want to go do something in the professional football sphere? I don't know what that would look like, but his kids are going to the NFL, and that's kind of been a paralleling career for him, with them being in high school and then being at Jackson State and then being at Colorado. Do they all go to the NFL together? I don't know. I'm not telling you I know, but I'm saying that to me is the most interesting next phase of Deion Sanders and what he has done at Colorado and what he would do at Colorado. But if he does this, again, every negative thing that anybody had to say about Deion Sanders as a football coach, myself included, would be eating our words. And, again, for college football, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think it'd be great to have that intrigue. And it would be larger than football. It'd be larger than college football. That would be a lot of fun for us as a sport to be able to enjoy together. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.